Welcome to Align Trading, almost another week about to begin, but taking a look at Friday briefly, it was OPEX. I was out of the Discord, and you can see that we just really remained within this green algorithm right here. We opened the day right here within this yellow, and you can see how we're still within that blue and yellow controlled selling, and we start to form that inverse head and shoulder. Once again, see this blue and yellow controlled selling at the end of the day, and we are unable to get that breakout to close this cup and see if we can start making another all-time high. Now we will go over this intraday on the 1 minute chart. Now you did not have to trade OPEX, but I mentioned in the Discord on Thursday for members to be paying attention to the algos, and we would review them this weekend. So now here on the 1 minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms. It is a choppy day with OPEX, but you can still see the algorithms within here, which we're going to go over. So in the morning, we have this selling algorithm right here, but you also have to be paying attention to this tapering one right here as well. You can see how we get back inside of that, trying to form this cup and handle right here. Take some time, we form another cup, and then you see right with this same algorithm, we start to form this inverse head and shoulder right there for that move to the upside off of that cup's handle. And then same thing, this same algo right here. You can see controlled selling. We are able to form this inverse head and shoulder once again. You can see we formed that cup and handle right there as well. And you're within this buying algorithm right here. And you can see how we head up. Now, if you were looking for this to head down right here, structure is not very clear, so you do want to see this inverse cup close back to that low. From there, right, you want to be seeing this handle starting to form, and from there to the downside. Same thing right here, you can see how we do not fully close that cup, form that handle right here, and see what I'm talking about to the downside. If you're looking for this right here as well with this head and shoulder, that is starting to form within this algorithm right here. If you're looking for that tapering, sure, we get some downside, but once again, you want to see that cup closing and ultimately this larger one. Now with this on the 1 minute chart as well, you can see on the 30 how within the structure you can see this inverse head and shoulder trying to form right here. You can see we're within that yellow and blue algorithms I talked about, and we're starting to form that inverse head and shoulder, closing that cup at this level right here. And then you can see how I talked about that blue and yellow trying to build this handle once again to close the cup at this level right here. You can see the controlled selling within here, right, as I talked about with this algo. You can see this throughout the day on the larger one right here as well. Same thing, even right here towards the end of the day. Same thing right there. And these breakouts are just not very good. We close that cup, right? And with this handle, we're never able to form that inverse head and shoulder and see that continuation. So a couple nice trades throughout, right? I would say this is a very nice trade right there. Same thing with this. You can see that controlled selling very easily, but other than that, we are really just within this green algorithm right here, and this is not much to trade, hence why I took the day off with OPEX. Now going over what to be watching into next week and what we need to see for a potential larger move. So we're still looking for this cup to close at the all-time high right here. This can be the handle. I want to point out something right here. You can see within this blue and yellow controlled selling that we have right here as well. We have this handle, and you can see what comes from that. Huge move up. Yes, it is a fake out, but pay attention to that on Monday. Maybe we have a gap up, and maybe it is sold back off, and you have to pay attention to that head and shoulder. Now, in the case that we start breaking out of this green algorithm right here, you see we have this white as well. Pay attention to this liquidity that we have right here. In the case that we want to start heading down, we also have this 5-day moving average. And if we close this inverse cup at it, watch for this to become resistance and maybe we start to see some sort of downside right here with this larger tapering that we have. Now, it does not have to be tapering unless we see the structure forming with it, which is below that 5-day moving average. So do not necessarily be looking short quite yet unless you see that, because we can see with this controlled selling right here, watch that purple buying continuation. You can see how it forms on the way up right here. Same thing with that purple. You have to be paying attention to that, because if that forms, you do not want to be caught in that to the short side. So with the daily chart here, right, still above this 5-day moving average, as we have gone over with this upper Bollinger and the 5-day, this is exactly what you will see in the uptrend. 5-day upper Bollinger as we continue moving higher, exactly like we are doing, and you cannot short it until this starts to flatten out right here and becomes some sort of resistance. And in that case, you want to look for this 20-day moving average. So as this 20-day starts to catch up right here, if this does start to flatten, be paying attention to a move back to the 20-day, and then from there we can continue the uptrend. Or if the 5 crosses below this 20, you can look for some further downside and to this bottom Bollinger right here. So pay attention to that. Now we can kind of see the levels right here on the daily chart. Pay attention to these right here. You can see what the ranges kind of are and what you want to be seeing if we are going to break down, or if we are forming support above these, continuing higher, whatever the case may be. So a larger view of the structure right here, if we are forming some sort of top right here, you have to be seeing this starting to form right here below that 5-day moving average, and we do have the liquidity on the way down. If that does start to happen, this 20-day moving average, as I was mentioning, watch that in the case that we close something back to it. But if that was to happen, you have to then be looking for this yellow and blue controlled selling once again, if that is support off of that 20-day, and we continue moving higher. Otherwise, it becomes some sort of resistance right here. We form that handle at it, and we are headed down even lower right here. We have tons of liquidity right here. Pay attention to that. In the case that that does happen, you would see this come fairly quickly to the downside. Not too much news or any catalyst next week, so just be paying attention to the structure and understanding the blue and yellow controlled selling algorithm and how we have done this the whole way up right here, and what starts to form. You can see each time these inverse head and shoulders, right? So you will not miss it if you are paying attention. Just be watching if we do continue this uptrend. But thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.